Well, it's still hot today. It's amazing. This is vlog number 24. It's the second part, actually, of the good old days. I was talking about health, and one thing that was the case, that food was very expensive back then. I remember we had chicken for Christmas. It was special. That's what we could do. It was a bit nuts. The other thing that health was not good for was because the air pollution was terrible. In this area in the Midlands is a very much a coal mining area, and all the coal miners had free coal. So people heated their houses. They didn't have central heating as such. They had coal fires. So every house in the winter, and maybe, other times, would emit coal smoke out of all the houses. And it was terrible. Most of the towns in the Midlands and the North and other places where they were mining would have quite decent Victorian buildings in the middle of town when the Victorians were proud to build their town halls and so on, and hotels. And they were, without a word of a lie, I'll show you some pictures, they were black. They were simply black. And in the 1960s, when we decided to have a Clean Air Act, then we decided then to clean the buildings up. So they'd clean all the buildings. And we realised that underneath there were beautiful, beautiful stone buildings underneath the black soot. Air pollution was terrible. I remember distinctly once, it was a foggy time, I presume it was during autumn, and the fog turned into smog, which is fog and smoke combined. And without a word of a lie, the bus I was on, going from the middle of Coventry to the north where I lived, it was so bad, the conductor had to get off the bus and walk in front and find where the road was. And I was upstairs on the right-hand side, and we saw trees going by the wrong side of the bus. The bus had wandered completely over the wrong side of the road because the driver could not see a yard in front of him, and yet we were still trying to make way. And fog was a common problem. Air pollution was very, very poor. No wonder so many older people nowadays have lung problems. Plus the fact, of course, smoking was thought to be good for you. And everybody smoked in films and on TV. I say everybody, most people did. And so, lung problems are a problem today with the generation that grew up then, which is my generation. Unfortunately, I didn't smoke. My dad smoked. My mum smoked a little bit, but not much. So my grandparents both smoked. They lived to a ripe old age, but it still certainly wasn't good for you. Oh, what else we got? I'm going to move on to transport. As I say, we did not have a car when I grew up. We had one slightly before that because my dad was a baker and he ran a baking shop, and he did quite well with that. But by and large, we didn't have a car, we didn't have a telephone, we didn't have a fridge, we didn't have hot water. I don't want you to feel sorry for me. Yeah, go on then, if you want to, you can feel sorry for me. But the transport was pretty poor in that the cars, they weren't tested to see if they were roadworthy. I distinctly remember a TV advert where there's a car upside down and the policeman sort of rubbing his chin going, oh no, this is no good. And the wheel was spinning round, and he'd look at the tyre, and the tyre was completely bald, smooth tyre. And he said, tyres, you must check your tyres, Well, nowadays, if you haven't got decent tyres, a decent tread on your tyres, that's it. You have to take the car off the road, you have it taken off the road. If you have no MOT, a test to check that the car is in good working order. And of course, drink driving was rife as well. I mean, to go on the roads in the 1950s and 60s was terrible. The accident rate was disastrous. Good old days, I don't think so. I really don't. It was terrible. And so most places we went on the bus. Well, my dad had a motorbike, I must admit, and he used to go to and from work on that. Oh, so much. It's going to have to go on to part 3, because that's 5 minutes up on that one. I don't want to bore you, so. Right, I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.